unearth the gold in your data with these data management practices. So we're all talking about big data. We're talking about these new technologies like AI, machine learning, all these fancy new technologies. But we also have to remember that all of these new technologies have to actually have a good foundation in the data we're giving to these technologies to actually apply them and to actually bring the most out of both the data we have and the new technologies that we're actually using it for. So that's why I'm going to focus on this today, how to set up your some best practices, some rules of thumb to basically fix your data quality, maybe give some insights to steps you can take to start making your business and your data a little bit more prepared to take care or to be prepared for integrating these new technologies and making the most out of both tech and the data. So the first principle is the data quality. Data quality is king. If you have good quality of your data, then it becomes much easier to actually apply these new technologies. And okay, what does this mean? What does good data quality actually mean? It means that it's structured and organized in a way that a computer can relatively easily understand, and it becomes much easier to actually extract and take out, okay, what data is in these files and how can we actually apply them in practice. Having proper systems, proper structures to actually showcasing that, okay, here we have, okay, these columns, we have these tables. They are structured in an organized way that both computers can understand and humans can understand preferably. And that's the ideal situation, so that both humans can input and analyze these data in an ideal way, and also computers can actually understand them as well. So that is much easier to automate and integrate new tech, automate, analyze with machine learning and so on, and be have a lot of other possible opportunities to gather value from these data. So yeah, that's first principle. Data quality is key. So just want to first mention that point. It can be tricky sometimes to figure out exactly how to get the data quality exactly right, but I think it's important at least to keep in mind the principle that of standardization, that okay, if there are repetitive processes, things that for instance, reports that are conducted monthly, that okay, at the very least the structure of the data should be the same for the same type of data, for the same type of reports, that we have some kind of clear structure that is applied repeatedly, unless there are clear changes time after time in these processes that makes it necessary to change the structure and structure of this data. So yeah, that's first principle, because okay, if there are repetitive processes that doesn't require a lot of manual inputs, then it may be ideal to try to automate that as much as you can, and you cannot do that if you don't have this type of standardization. So that's the first principle. And then there, integrated to that, is a principle of clear data governance. What I mean by data governance. Governance is big word, right? But basically it means having some kind of rules for, okay, these are the standards that we want to set for our data, for data quality, for how we want the data to flow. So basically setting the standards, what type of quality do we expect, and how are we actually planning to integrate and apply this in practice. Right, we're setting clear rules, we're setting clear structures, and we want this data to be maintained at really good quality, so that we can achieve this value for the long term, apply these new technologies. And then we need to have good standards and be able to maintain the quality of our data and our systems in the long run. So that's the reason why it's really important to have a good uh, data governance plan or data governance strategy to basically be kind of overarching this project that you want to improve your data quality, and this will take you a step in the right direction in that sense. So the next point is to utilize the right tools, the right technologies, of course, and this has to it will be it will be a great simplification for me to just say that okay, you should use this technology or this technology, because the it 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 depends a lot on the situation you're in. So if you're a small business, it will be very different compared to if you are a very massive organization, right? If you're just starting out, or if you have been in business for 10, 20 years, your data architecture is going to look very different, and the kind of tools you need to apply uh, to manage and get value from your data are also very different. So, but that's why you have to. That's why it's so important to look at. Okay, what is your situation? How is your data managed now? And building on the systems that you have now, and seeing, okay, does how effective is this and these different tools and technologies for actually achieving the goals that we want to achieve, and what are the errors or problems that we're having with the technology that we're currently using. Okay, have you recently gone through a scale-up process, for instance, and still are using the same technology? Maybe it's time to consider, okay, should we change technology? Does this system still work for the new scale that we've gone to, or does does this have a lot of problem that's costing us a lot of time and resources? Maybe it's time to make a change here. So that's also important, being active and being proactive about seeing, okay, when do we need a change in the system, and I'm basically integrating that to this data governance idea. And that also takes us to our next point, which is to foster a data-driven culture. And this is about uh, training and education, right? This is about bringing out an understanding for bringing up an understanding among the team, among the company, in the company, for the people in the company, to understand the value of data quality. That is not to try to make them understand that it's not just it shouldn't just be seen as a rule imposed from above, but that there actually are long-term considerations that are behind these, and when understanding why these are in place, it's easier to also think, okay, these are in place for a reason. We want to develop the company, we want to develop ourselves, our own skills, and therefore I will follow them and see how I can contribute in that sense to making this work even better. And the more it's foster this kind of continually developmental um, process, and a progress-oriented mindsets, basically focus, okay, how can we do these things better, and having some kind of guidelines, so to speak, about, okay, we have these goals and values that we have the goals we want to achieve and the values we want to maintain. Okay, based on these goals and values, how can we progress in the best possible way? Okay, and then a data strategy or a data governance plan can be basically can consist of some guidelines for how different people in the organization can help move in that direction. But overall, it's about bringing up some education and understanding of why data is important, and why data can help a lot to bring the company forward, or not only the company forward, but the people to grow themselves, their own skills, and their own understanding of how these new technologies work and how business works in general. So the next point is, okay, integrate data from multiple sources. So of course, depending on which industry and situation your business is in, it could be it could be very different how or what kind of data is necessary for you to gather and maintain and process to the goals you want to achieve. But the thing about data is that it has a lot of value, but you also need to be um, you need to be goal oriented with it. So you can see, for instance, in one situation, let's say one situation, for instance, you have a goal that okay, you want to increase sales, and then okay, you have some data of okay your previous sales, and you have maybe some openly available data from uh, APIs connecting to a to statistics from a bank or statistics from kind of a population bureau or something that has kind of publicly available population data, demographical data and so on, and you want to kind of make um, a model or some kind of data analysis tool to help you kind of understand how what factors would influence the market you're in better for the future and predict okay, what are the opportunities forward, let's say. And okay, you have a few data sources already, but maybe you want some maybe there are some additional factors that you think are relevant, and okay, and think that okay, now right now we don't have that data available, but we will like that data available if it's possible. And then it's relevant to see, okay, are there any uh, bureaus, organizations, or companies who actually gather this data, and is it possible to get access to this data somehow and to integrate that into this, so we can actually develop this model, so to speak, and uh, build on that if you get access to this. But of course, uh, it isn't always the best to get as absolutely much data as possible, because there are risks connected to data as well. You need to take care of uh, concerns concerns about data security, um, pers- um, yeah like personal information, like GDPR is a big thing in Europe. Maintaining personal having data for personal information is a big risk when it comes to big judicial risk when it comes to maintaining that. So there are some risks as well about maintaining this type of big data. But so when I say when you give us a tip to integrate data from multiple sources, it's also with that caveat that okay, there is a lot of opportunity in gathering data, but be it should be based on a bigger goal in mind, with okay, why are you gathering this data, and uh, having some kind of checks and balances, so to speak, and risk assessment of okay, how can we gather this data in a proper way, and taking taking account of these laws and regulations for the management of these data as well. So yeah, that's the fifth, and then that also fits very well with the sixth one as well, which is okay, implement robust data security measures. So of course, when you have a lot of data, it can be sensitive information a lot of time, especially when it concerns personal information or connected to business secrets, business financial information, legal documents for the business, and so on, which could be quite sensitive if they got leaked. So extremely important to have good data security strategies. The more data you manage, the more important and especially if it's more sensitive and more risky, so to speak, if it got leaked, then the more important it is to have these data security measures in place. And that could either be done by hiring others, hiring people to take care of the data security for you, at looking into and implementing the right data security tools, having some kind of third-party reliable and trusted third-party provider of this. And yeah, so those are some considerations to have on data security. And yeah, then okay, when we come to the seventh part, this kind of brings us back to the data governance part, but it is to regularly update and refine the data strategy. So this goes back the uh, to both the governance part and the matter of a data-driven culture. Okay, we want on the one side to maintain a good governance program, and we want to maintain a good and foster a good um, data-driven culture, and that in combination can uh, allows a company to be more and the people to be more flexible and see what changes are happening with the data and with the business right now, and identify when there are changes where they see that here maybe we should make some changes eventually, as they see that maybe some things here aren't working, we need to improve something here, and constantly update the plans eventually as they see the changes in the market or see the changes in the data and the challenges from there. It becomes much easier than to when you are in a flexible and dynamic situation to then make the changes necessary to actually be updated to these trends. And yeah, that's the seventh, and then the eighth is visualize the data for better insights. Use data visualization tools, and of course, this is the last of because this is one of the last stages, so to speak. It works when you have good data management, good data quality in place, and when you have good data governance program, data strategy, and all in place, then it becomes much easier to rely on and set up good visualizational models. Becomes much easier to automate. Becomes much easier to use machine learning and other tools for interesting insights and so on. So data visualization is really just one application, but it makes it natural a lot easier to analyze the data than just looking at the data data in its pure form in a database, so to speak. But yeah, that's I will close off the video here. So to summarize it, too long didn't read, so to speak, is that data quality, data management is essential. It's so important to set a clear overarching strategy and governance plan for the business, foster up good education and culture for good for being data driven and understanding the value of clear and structured data quality, and that's what's making possible to do the bigger things with data visualization, automation, and all the other cool stuff that we want to progress our businesses. So yeah, that's all for today. I've been here. I've been Stefan from the Hypomanic Entrepreneur, and I'm looking forward to see you again very soon.